Hey guys, really quick. Colin from Primal asked me to be on his podcast the other night. It lasted about 2 hours. He sent me a 10-minute clip to show you here as a minor little preview that you can see of what we kind of talked about. In addition to that, we talked about more fitness things, obviously. His channel will be in the link, down in the description. Please click on it, go over there, watch the podcast, or skim through it anyway, and look at some of the other stuff that he's done. He's a really, really good guy, and enjoy what you see. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
What do you see in the future of genetic engineering? How do you see in the next 100 years?
So yeah, that's probably the news. You're going to start seeing some diseases start fading out. You're going to start seeing like probably some life extension type of thing.
Yeah.
If nothing else, the first thing you'll start seeing is closer to your maximum lifespan, and then probably in better shape, looking younger while you're closer to your maximum lifespan. Do you mean?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
And then hopefully it'll extend from there.
Do you think we'll ever have like Captain America, like super soldiers who their DNA's been modified to allow them to use more of their muscle? Like something not maybe like lifting buildings, but just performing at a very peak level compared to somebody who isn't trained?
Probably. I mean, they're probably. I mean, first of all, we have chemicals that can do that now, theoretically.
Yeah.
I mean, if you could justify doing that, justify giving steroids and stuff like that to people in basic training, you'd have a bigger soldier than the average soldier pretty quickly.
Sure.
But that's something that would be pretty equalized by everybody back and forth. I mean, I don't know if you'd see a soldier cascade, so to speak, where like you have certain people born into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tough one because
epigenetic level where people are, it's more of like a caste system or almost,
Yeah, exactly like that. Yeah, like, you see that kind of thing. And plus, technology itself, what you can put, it'd be probably easy to put somebody in a mechanized suit.
Yeah.
It is to genetically alter him to become, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Super. Because you can still blow in pieces.
Yeah, for sure.
From a distance.
Yeah, we're really not focused more on just advancements of technology when it comes to warfare versus furthering human strength in a sense. I think it's going to be crazy seeing the next. I heard it somewhere. I was listening to a podcast somewhere, but they said that in the next 100 years we're going to see 10,000 years of technological development, just because we've reached a point where we're able to do so much with what we have, and it's just exponential growth at a certain point too.
Well, the big thing is the availability of information. So it's like, for the first time in history, if you're putting around your garage, have access to inventions that have been around for hundreds of years and the schematics for them and the science behind them. I mean, it just creates a huge amount of ability to do things and process back and forth. Think about it. The ancient Greeks had automation. The ancient Greeks actually had built a steam engine. Yeah. Nothing to use it for. But had it been out there and everybody knew about it, somebody would have found a use for it.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, there's all these things that have been probably invented spontaneously over the years, over the centuries, that they never grew on it. Apparently, the Egyptians could do surgery on the eye and on the brain.
Oh my God, I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
But then it just fades, right? And especially back then when everything was kind of a secret.
Yeah.
If you were a guild system and you had done that, it stayed in your guild, right? You didn't disseminate to everybody.
You didn't want to be executed for just defying the natural law of all things.
Yeah, or just you didn't want to share.
Yeah.
There was money involved, stuff like that. I mean, we're a little bit like that now when it comes to patenting drugs and things along those lines, but usually the knowledge behind it is pretty available.
It's interesting seeing different societies where creativity is just not it's almost hampered, where there's like places like North Korea or Russia where they there's so many laws against like just being thinking and just being open, and it just really hampers like overall productivity, and they're advancing at a much slower level than we are in essence.
Well, think about it this way. If you're at the top, you want to stay at the top, right? Yep. You kind of like being there. So you're going to put things in place to limit the people around you.
Yep.
I think it was Vidal Gorvidal gets credit for this, but as other people said this over the years, it's not enough for me to succeed. You have to fail.
Yeah.
And that's actually a common idea. There's only 8 pieces of pie here. If I give somebody to somebody else, that means one less I can have.
Exactly.
And that's big theory economics, that scarcity mentality.
I read something somewhere. It was a study done where people were asked if it was either like them and like the neighbor they disliked, they could both live happily, or they could they could inflict pain on themselves, but the other person would happen to them too. And everyone picked, instead of just living happily alone and separated, they picked delivering pain, like the one where the other person was hurt too. It's that's common. The difference, it's a lack of emotional control. I think we view it as a lack of emotional control. But don't forget, the veneer civilization is very thin. They used to say that you're only 3 meals away from revolution in any given country. Yep.
And it's true. I remember reading something, an essay or something about that. They were talking about the foundation of certain kind of revolutions. And they said like the French Revolution and the Russian Revolution in the previous century, they really didn't. I mean, obviously there was talk and everything, but they really didn't happen until women and children couldn't get food anymore.
Yep.
Once that happened, there was a revolution. Before that, there's ideas, there's thoughts, there's oppression. But when you can't feed people at that basic family level, that's when you're going to see the riots, the wars and stuff like that. You mean?
Yeah, especially like speaking like nowadays too. There's a lot of debate on like what the death rate of the coronavirus is, and it can all be, people can say whatever they want to say, but I'm more scared of how other people act on their fear than the actual virus itself. It's really terrifying, especially when people as a whole get scared, what they're willing to do to protect themselves, or what they to do what they're going to think they protect themselves. I remember I went to the grocery store during my lunch break, and during like when it was kind of getting hyped up in the media, and people were stealing toilet paper off of other people's carts at such an extreme level for such, in essence, like a minor occurrence. Like fear does crazy things to people. It manipulates them a ton.
That toilet paper thing had to have been like a meme on the internet that got out of hand or something. Because that is a weird thing that everybody go nuts about.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Toilet paper is not like, it's not a tradable commodity later for like food and money, probably. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe it will be, but like it had to be something that just got out of hand, because I never heard of it being like that. Because there's obviously been hurricanes or whatever, but you really never heard the toilet paper thing before. Do you mean?
What I think it is like it's something that spiraled out of control. So maybe like internet memes were created about it, and then it maybe created the worry for people not having toilet paper, and then other people saw the people rushing for the toilet paper, so they did too, and it's just this downward spiral to where there's no toilet paper left.
The funny thing about it too is, my understanding is all the stores are not going to take toilet paper back. That's the end of the thing.
Yeah.
So you can have people stuck with 200 rolls of toilet paper.
I heard there's one place in like Canada where this person tried to return like 150 20 packs of toilet paper, and the manager just straight up said, "F you, I'm not taking this. You're a terrible human being."
There's apparently almost no returns right now because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
No one wants to take anything back, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. The panic is bad, and it doesn't help that the media itself. I shouldn't say the media though, but we're a clickbait society, so they tell us on YouTube, don't do clickbait, but the media's full of clickbait.
Yep.
I mean, every message I get on my phone is a clickbait expression.
Yep.
You wouldn't believe what happened to this person, and we're talking about ABC, Fox, whatever.
Everyone does it. Everyone does it.
Yeah, they take expressions, and they're ghouls. They love this shit. They're always going to take the worst case scenario because it sells.
There is no good side in this whole like media situation, because every single one of them thrives off of the ad revenue they get from the people clicking on them. Right. So they're going to exaggerate stories. They might not lie, but they're going to manipulate information. And
there's very little real news anymore. Like what I call real news is like matter of fact, something that isn't trying to draw the conclusion for you.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's not. They're not going to sit there and say this person did this today. They're going to say this evil person with these evil intentions, backed by these evil people, did this today. Do you mean? And that's what we hear all the time. We hear all news with context, because most news that's out there on these major channels are commentary, not really news.
Yeah.
But they're reporting the news from the commentary point of view, and most people just don't know the difference. Yeah. So they eat that up. I mean, look how angry people get nowadays because they listen to their favorite news channels all the time, and they just feed into all the stuff going on.
Yeah.
This person's evil, this person's not evil, and it goes back and forth.
It's really unfortunate. I feel like so many people nowadays, they're so much worried about the news, and like especially politics. I see this with politics all the time. They're more worried about politics than they are their own lives. When in reality, so many of the problems that they're experiencing that they think that politics are going to solve can truly be solved by themselves if they just divert that attention. They can still keep up with the times and still keep up with different things that are happening, but just the amount of worry and the amount of stress that they waste over the clickbait, the politicians, the beef on social media, it can be really spent towards bettering themselves and self-improvement.
Okay, before you leave, I'm going to share a piece of trivia with you. I'm going to start putting little pieces of trivia and Easter eggs in some of the videos just to tease you and make you more willing to like stay and reward you for it. I hope you enjoyed what you saw so far. You go down in the description, click on the link to his podcast, and then come back and comment and tell me what you think. Now, in the meantime, what do you think the best exercise for chest is according to, say, some kind of scientific study? Many, many years ago, they tested a whole bunch of muscle groups by EMG, which measured like the electric potential of different groups of muscle when you put them under strain. And they found that the single best exercise for chest that they found at that moment, drum roll please, was, can you guess? Can you, a little bit maybe? Decline dumbbell presses, followed by incline dumbbell presses. They seem to get the most amount of electrical energy generated from that muscle group. And there's other ones, but I'll share them with you later. Okay, I hope you have a really, really, really great day, and I'll talk to you soon. My new video should be up and online either later today or tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye.